Hello, you are watching On Approach, episode 20.
63, climb maintain 13 down.
13,000, couple of
63, contact the New York Center, 128.3.
28, couple of 6, there. Hello, Captain.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another show. Welcoming our host from the top, Mr. Mark, aka Spark Smudge.
Hello there.
We got. Was that some intro music for you? It was like, woo, sparkles.
Apologies. That was my tablet turning itself on.
Sweet.
So you got the warm welcome.
I'm glad it was your tablet turning itself on and not you turning yourself on after announcing Sparks.
That would have been a totally different one. That's for a different show.
There we've got nice Mr. Keven, aka Live Sparks.
Not much. What's up, guys?
Welcome. Mr. Brian, aka B Crawley 57.
Hello, y'all, everybody.
Hello, y'all.
That was different.
I love it. We got Ken, aka Noodle.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon.
Hello. And Mr. Pear, aka Pear On.
Good morning.
Hello, Captain. On Approach is a weekly flight sim and aviation enthusiast podcast covering the week's top user-submitted posts and news on the skylounge.tv. Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming. Kicking us off today, top story submitted by Mr. Super Thrive. Improve vast performance, use optimizer textures. Let's check this out. A short and easy guide on how to properly use optimizer textures. I think the actual name of the application is Ordenador. Ordenador, which means to make things. It's someone that makes things neat in Spanish. So this is a utility that will recompress specific image file types. Have any of you used this before?
It's been floating around in the background. I haven't actually personally used it, but I know it's been available and it's been out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It has indeed.
I've never seen it.
No?
Yeah.
It was originally created for, maybe Noodle's probably the best person to answer this because I don't remember the name of the game.
Skyrim.
It was for
Skyrim,
Skyrim. That's what it was originally created for, was to compress Skyrim textures. But it does work on many airport textures as well. So what you do is you set the checkboxes as such, and you point it at your folder containing the airport texture files. So not the scenery folder, but the textures folder. And it will go to town, opening up the files that it can compress, and then recompressing them based on your settings. I can attest to this working very well. For the longest time, it was kind of my secret as well. Every airport I buy, I install, I run through this, and then I test. And I've not had any issues. It does an amazing job from the day that I discovered it to seeing the difference in my vast usage because it's recompressing textures. However, I think Noodle said it best earlier, your mileage may vary.
Definitely.
And be wary that you could screw things up severely.
Yeah, it it can and can't work for you. I tried it. Did I see much of a difference? Not so much, because it's still going to come down to your hardware. So keep that in mind. It's going to come down to your settings in the sim. Keep that in mind. But this is an advanced technique. You can potentially just mess up things and have to reinstall your scenery again. So keep that in mind. But also, a lot of the sceneries that are coming out have texture resolution settings from 10, 20, and 4096. So before you jump into using a tool like this, go back, look at that scenery, and see if there's a function that will allow you to change the resolution. Because it's really going to do you no sense to start messing with an advanced bit of utility that you can mess up on when you already have something that can go ahead and reduce the textures and hopefully make it run a whole lot better for you. Again, your mileage may vary. I tried it. It didn't work so much for me, so I canned it. But again, check your aircraft, check your airport sceneries, and see if you are able to reduce the level of resolution before you go and do this. Because if you mess up, it's your fault.
Yeah, definitely. So it does...
By the end of the month, we'll be done with that anyway. We won't need it anymore.
Yeah, right? I mean, we could potentially not need it. Or some people will probably still use it anyway.
I wish I'd known about it 2 years ago. That would have been really nice for me. But I think to start that now, the amount of scenery we got on would be a major job. And as Kevin alluded to there, we might not need it soon.
And the thing is, it does absolutely fall into the advanced category. Like, this is not for the folks that are kind of like surface level simming. This is down and dirty. You're modifying files. You're modifying them in a way that you cannot undo very easily. So as you can see on the screen, it also does work for PMDG planes. So you can point it at specific directories there. However, on Noodle's point, so you're right. A lot of developers do give you the option to select, for example, let's just use the 1024 textures, right? So you either have the 4096, but you can select 1024. Well, in many cases, they're just simply exporting from Photoshop. Let's export these at 1024. Let's export these at 4096, whatever. This software is a very aggressive compressor. So it will likely compress to 1024 at a much more efficient way. So it'll compress to 1024, but the actual file size itself will be smaller than the developer's 1024, if that makes any sense. But see, that's where it kind of gets real advanced, right? Because you do have easy options, like Noodle says, in most cases, but in some cases where you just have to be aggressive about a few more megabytes of VAS, this could come in handy.
Yeah, but also, Mr. Edson, if you take an image that's already pretty crappy and you compress it anymore, you're going to end up with a blob of nothing.
Absolutely, and that's where the test phase comes in, and you're right. If you were to take the 4096 textures and compress them to 1024 with this, you're going to be all right. If you compress some 1024 textures with this, you're taking poop, feeding it into the machine is going to spit out poopier poop. So, be careful with that. If anybody out there is interested, Mr. Super Thrive did put together a full walkthrough on video for you to follow over at the skylounge.tv. So head over there and dive into that. Thank you, Mr. Super Thrive.
I'd like to thank him for doing that. This came up on the streams I was doing when we were discussing the unknown, the word we're not supposed to mention on stream, BAS. And, he pointed us in this direction. He's taken the trouble to put this video together for people like me that don't really understand the deep technical stuff. So I want a big thank you to him for that.
My man. Next story, XPRealistic chase plane meets AccuFeel, but for Xplane. I am going to let Mr. Pear take the lead on this one. I scooped this up online and posted it, and I think he immediately messaged me and said, "What is this? I have been looking for this. Something like this in my life." So, Mr. Pear, give us a little bit of what this does and your first impressions, direct impressions.
Yes. I saw this posted and I jumped on it immediately because I've been waiting for stuff like this in Xplane for a long time. And it's basically a realism pack which gives you what it says, a realism and immersion in the cockpit. So you get all kinds of effects, shaking on the ground, touchdown. You get a lot of sounds. There are 22 effects currently in this package, and it's being developed every day. So the effect count will go up and up and up. what you say, it's basically an immersion pack for planes in Xplane. You get, let's say, if you just before you stall out the plane, you get buffeting, shaking, and the sound of the winds going over the surfaces.
Yeah. It looks like the propeller moves off center as well, though.
Yeah.
They do that in all the planes.
That was interesting.
Yeah.
Mr. Peck, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Yeah, looking at this, it says X camera and track IR supported. Is that a requirement?
It's not
a camera.
It's not a requirement, but if you use X camera, this immersion goes hand in hand with X camera. So it's the best combination yet to have. You get X camera, which is basically free. It's basically donationware. So you get X camera, download it, and you can get all kinds of camera sets from people who have made those camera sets, or you can make your own. And then you get this, and you get all the immersion stuff, shaking, rattling, and all kinds of sounds going on. So
Kevin, just don't bother going over to Xplane, man.
This is nothing. This is has nothing to do with graphical. This is not graphical. Like there is
it's physics and some sound, and I think that's where kind of I pulled in the Xplane meets AccuFeel, because AccuFeel does add some great sound effects and some touches of physics. Yeah. But Xplane does such an amazing job at like motion effects. And so this to me is just kind of like a very light little morph of those two to give you a taste of real immersion inside Xplane, unlike anything I had seen before. It looks awesome.
The only difference between this and the AccuFeel stuff is this doesn't touch the physics itself. It's only the immersion effects and the sounds going on.
Can I just ask, Per, is it something that works easily out the box, or do you have to use lots of sliders to get the best result?
It works easily out of the box. There are some default setups for GA planes and jets, but you can go in and you can dial in your own settings if you want. It's basically a Lua script. So you will have to install Lua in your Xplane plugin, and then you drop this into the Lua scripts.
I don't think there's an Xplane user that hasn't got Lua in their machine.
Exactly. Yeah.
I won't fly without this. And to be honest, I had a question going to the developer of this program on the forums, and I don't think it went 10 minutes before he answered.
Oh, that's fantastic.
That's good support.
$14.99, folks. Head over to XPRealistic.com to check it out. Let them know the Sky Lounge sent you. Let them know Pear sent you. All right, moving on. Next topic submitted by Mr. Pear on how to remove watermark and red text in P3D. So I think he's got many questions about how to remove the information in the top corner. Yeah, that's what this applies to?
Yes. It's basically adding one line of text into your P3D config and getting rid of the watermark. Let's say the academic watermark.
Yeah.
Top corner.
Which is great for streamers. Like, I love that for streamers. I like clean.
It's also good for screenshots, because you don't want a watermark on your screenshots. You don't have to crop it all the time.
Exactly. So here's the thing, though. This does work. It worked in a prior version as well. However, I swear that in this version, there's an option in the sim that you go check and it turns it off. Am I right or wrong? Because I have mine turned off and I did not do the mod.
Oh,
not with the academic.
But that won't remove your watermark. Only the red text. You can turn off in the settings in the settings in P3D in the right hand corner. There's a load of checkboxes where you can turn off, parking brake,
Yeah.
over speed and stuff
All the
like
lower
that.
right-hand
But
corner.
you can't. There isn't one to turn the watermark off.
If there's anyone out there that can prove I'm right,
I've had all of that off in the in-game settings.
Please post down below.
No, I've had all that stuff off, every last possible thing in the general tab, and the watermark was still there. It's still there.
It's very possible I pulled over a config or something from the old sim when I migrated.
Yeah,
who knows?
It's still there.
It might be actually, because this line actually exists in the config. So it's basically a 0 and a 1. It's on or off. So
yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the comments say.
You can always stream with 3 monitors, and then the things are offside anyway, so you're okay.
Oh, so spoiled, Mr. B. Thank you, Mr. Pear. I think that's a really good tip to throw out there. Next topic submitted by Mr. Chemo NL. Flightfactor A320 Ultimate for Xplane. I think Mr. Pear was as excited about this one as well. Yes, what do you think? What do we think about Flightfactor, first of all?
Flightfactor, that's a very good company making very good Boeings for Xplane, and now they are doing this Airbus. I'm not...
I know you're not an Airbus guy, I know. But
I've seen so many
Flightfactor, good.
But yeah, for the Airbus fans, this is great news. Very good news, and if you look at the feature list, it's mind-blowing. So if they can pull this off, they have a bestseller on their hands.
That's the difference between Pear and I. Pear says, if you look at the feature list, meanwhile, I go straight to the pictures.
I tell you what,
I'm incredibly excited about this airplane.
If you actually go to their forum, and that link, Edson, there's some more pictures there, and I really like that they've kind of got the tablet on the pilot's window. That looks so cool. I hope that's got feature. I hope that's feature rich.
It appeared to be. I saw that too, and something else that I found interesting. Watching there's a tablet, the announcement little video clip. I saw there was a landing, and if you wait the whole 8-9 minutes, about 1.5 minutes in, and then about 2 minutes 40 in, you see rain, and the rain. And, since we just discussed something that was all about rain, I wonder what that might have been. Let me think. Give me 1 second. Anyway, as this bus is flying through the clouds, rain effects kick in, and it looks very good. Very good. So for those who
I don't
like
know
that,
about this company. I don't know this company, but I just picked up an Airbus from the JAR Design A330, and that's got rain effects on the windows. Look really good.
Look
nothing
close.
like this.
No, look close
like
at
this.
the rain. Yeah, if you look close on the JAR rain effects, you're going to see something else. Take a deeper look. It's not very good. Just take another. I'm not going to ruin it. Yeah, I won't ruin it for you. Just take another look, and you'll see what's wrong with the JAR version of rain on the glass.
Yeah, when the wipers go, it doesn't touch the raindrops.
No, it does.
Give you a brief introduction to Flightfactor.
Mm-hmm.
They have made 4 planes that I am aware of. They have made the Boeing 757, which I have. Very good plane.
Very good.
They have made the Boeing 767, which is also a very good plane, which I also bought. And they made a big pack of the 777, which was also a good plane, and they are working on a new version of that as well. And then they made this Airbus A350, which I think wasn't too great.
Yeah.
And now they're going for this Airbus, which is very good news for the Airbus fans, but me personally, I would have liked to see a Boeing 787.
I think everyone would right now.
They make very good planes.
So you're mad because it's an Airbus?
Not mad, just a little bit.
I'm a little on the fence on this one because there's a few Airbus offerings. We have JAR Design, we have QPAC, and there was somebody else. I can't think of the developer name. So the Airbuses are kind of they're there. Some are better than the others. But this one looks like it's going to be probably the most complete one I've seen yet, depending on either sim, really. I haven't dug deep on the FS, what's it, Labs or whatever. This one appears, I mean, they indicate that this is going to be for an actual pilots who are in training. So when they put that out there, this is going to be like beyond study level. That's how I'm reading it. It's going to be a little more than what we have seen branded on developer aircrafts, indicating that it's study level.
So you think it's going to be beyond FS Labs?
I think this is going to take a step higher than what other people are saying are study level, because this is not. I don't think this is going to be the typical. Well, I already know how to fly an Airbus. I'm sensing there's going to be more to it.
So you're saying
I'm looking forward to this.
You're not ready for this.
You're not even ready for Xplane, so you
Ow! Ow! I need some lotion for that burn. Thank you. But
it looks really good, though. I'm looking forward to this, and I think it's going to have probably one of the higher entry price points ever. I think.
Oh, yeah, price point. What are they typically fairly priced pair?
Yeah, it's in the $60 range.
Okay.
It's going to be more expensive, that one, though. They stated it in the post itself. There will be a discount for previous owners, though.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, moving on. Next topic. Coronado teases us with a Fokker 50 under development photo.
I'm glad you said that correctly, Mr. Edson.
What? Fokker. Look
Meet
at
the Fokkers.
this bad boy.
Oh, nice.
Yes, nice.
It looks very similar to to an ATR.
Yeah,
it's the friendship. Look at that. Nah.
The ATR has a different, fuselage look, and on top of that too, the ATR's wheel wells are basically built in on the lower middle fuselage with the rounded thing, which is why I'm waiting to move this.
This has a touch of dash to it.
In essence.
Yeah, you're right. Big skinny long legs there.
Remember, Scandinavian Airlines had one of these, a couple of those running around Norway at one time.
Oh, really? So we might see Norwegian livery.
Yes.
That would be cool. And Johan brings up an interesting question here. He says, tell me you will do for Xplane 2. The way that Coronado is working, I mean, when you see something like this get announced, it's probably going to come down the pipeline for Xplane as well.
I think the way that Coronado are working now is they release for P3D and Xplane. They release later on down the line.
Yeah, they've been on a run, definitely. This is looking real sweet, though, guys.
I don't know about this. It's a great aircraft. I haven't. Was it Flight One or Just Flight? They have theirs, and it looked and sounds great with those Dart. The Dart engine, I believe, that's on it. But the problem is my problem is it's Carenado systems. What is not going to work? There are so many knobs and dials in Carenado aircraft that should do something that really don't do shit.
I have to say that Coronado, they're not perfect, but they are getting better on their systems.
Well, I could do a whole show about that, but I'm really, because this is a classic. This is something different, and I would hope that they would
step
spend
up the game.
They have to.
They have to.
This is it. This is their biggest aircraft to date. And if we're going to see the same, like a lot of people say, oh yeah, typical Coronado internals, it's going to be, it looks good, but it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
They could potentially, with this aircraft alone, say, yes, we can do bigger aircraft, and it was done well. They need this. They need that aircraft now that comes out to say, we've heard you and we've fixed it and we've done it here. They need this. And if it's another another factory, stamped thing, then
what I'd like to see from Carenado is you can full throttle their aircraft, full mixture, full props, and nothing's going to happen.
Nothing ever dies.
Nothing dies, nothing explodes, no engine fires, no failures of any kind. I'd like to see that where you do actually have to manage your gauges, manage your speeds. Otherwise you're going to have an engine out within 10 minutes of taking off.
Yeah, I'm just getting to the stage of my simulation sort of career where that is an important factor for me now. Most recently in the little jet, the Eclipse, where I'm to manage the aircraft for the whole flight, and I'm finding that enjoyable now. When I first started in the hobby, I just wanted to get up in the air and look around, but now I want to manage the aircraft. And, yeah.
Yeah, Mr. B, I have to say, I don't get to catch your time slot often, but just recently, I did. You were live at your standard 1:30 in the morning my time, and 1:35 that evening. You were a little bit late, Mr. B. 1:30 in the morning, and man, to watch you working through getting that thing prepped, I was super fucking impressed. Like, I've seen you do, your Comanche and stuff, but to see you work in this jet, props to you, man. Like, you took the Xplane world and just kind of dove in, and you've not only taken a hop directly into Xplane as an alternative simulator for you, having come from pretty much the P3D camp, but you also jumped into a completely different type of plane for you, at least from what I've seen you fly. I know you're comfortable with the heavies and you're comfortable with the GA, but to see you in an exec jet like that that's badass, dude. So my hat's off to you, sir.
I think Pear has something.
Yes, I do. Back to the Fokker 50.
Hey, what'd you call me?
You're not 50, are you?
Not yet. I'm almost there. Not yet.
Back to the Fokker 50. It's not a friendship. This Fokker 50 is the successor of the Fokker 27 friendship.
Oh, the successor.
Yeah, those planes flew around in the 80s. Early 80s.
Nice. Thank you for dropping the knowledge. All right, moving on. Next topic. This one's submitted by Mr. Pear. 2 golden Xplane freeware gems. I'm going to take a guess here. Norway.
Yes. Click on that link. Click on the first link and look at those pictures.
It can't be Norway. Are we sure?
Ooh, whoa.
Look at that.
Whoa.
That's bloody payware quality all the way. It's amazing, to tell you the truth.
And for patrons, I think they'll be on Pear's list.
Yes.
Whoa, look at that. So yeah, on that note, what Mr. B is referring to, supporters of the lounge, whom we call patrons, do have access to a private forum, and in that forum, Mr. Pear has created a kind of a running massive thread that they're calling kind of the multiplayer thread, where they're tracking all of these kind of freeware gems to install so that all the participants of the Xplane multiplayer group have the same scenery installed, and they do group flights and stuff like that. And Mr. Pear has done an amazing job of building an incredible resource over on the Skylounge.tv.
Fantastic.
And I'm sure all the patrons are very appreciative, because many, many, many new people have picked up Xplane just because of that thread that you created, dude. So,
I mean, look at this.
This is amazing.
These are some gorgeous, texturing and all, and it's free. It's free.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to pay $35 to $40. I'm going to go, I got to spend a couple minutes to download it.
I'm raising my hand. This is a Mercedes. And it is now settled that the car that we saw about 3 episodes back that we argued about is a Mercedes. This particular model has the split similar from a very shallow angle, similar to a BMW. But this is a Mercedes. This is gorgeous, dude. Look at this VW emblem on this. I mean, that's some detail.
Mr. Pirate, look at one of the screenshots here. Do you spell stop with 2 P's?
I'm sorry?
In Norway, they spell stop with 2 P's.
Right, because they're spelling stop in their language.
Yeah.
Stop.
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 What, in Norway, Mr. Pear, what is this sport called?
This is soccer.
Oh, it's soccer?
Okay.
Yeah. No. What?
In Norwegian.
In Norwegian, it's football. Football.
Football with an A?
Yeah.
Football. Oh.
Basically the same as you would say in English.
In English or... No.
In everywhere
Spanish.
but America.
Yeah, in Spanish. Because in English, it would be soccer.
No,
it'd be football.
No.
No, we call it football over here.
Sorry,
You call it soccer.
Sorry, in American.
Everywhere but United States.
Yeah.
Let's correct that. Everywhere in the world but the United States.
Yes.
We're the knobs who say soccer.
Sorry, I forget that I can't say in English when there are Englishmen present. In American, this would be soccer.
In Scotland, they call it fitball.
Fitball?
Fitball. FITBA.
Fitball. Neat.
Fitball.
Oh, and there's a stop sign.
Stop. Go to the next one, Edson.
Football. Yeah, these are gorgeous.
Beautiful sceneries. Mr. Pear has got absolute brilliant taste when he's selecting scenery for our package.
If you, after you've finished looking at this one, if you can look at the next one, but look at picture number 2. And I just want to comment on something on it that it just impresses me.
Here?
No.
Sorry,
On the other package.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, picture number 2. If you look at that, the shadowing and all that is amazing.
Yeah.
I've been trying to capture this look in P3D, and I've yet to capture it. This has been something I've been trying to do for a long time now, to kind of offset some shortcomings I feel that P3D has. And again, people, I do like P3D, but I prefer Xplane.
It's just lighting engine.
But yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It just amazes me when you look at this. Is obviously going into that pre-dusk type of lighting and all, and it's just amazing how well done it is.
So here's what's beautiful about this shot is, like, lighting wise, what I see, I do appreciate the floor, shadows and stuff, but that's not the magic for me in this shot. The magic for me is that these trees look like they are backlit. There's a brightness. There's a brightness to the opposite side that we can see a little of, but we still see darkness on our side of the trees, and that's where the magic is for me. Like, that's what sells the photograph, because you can cover that on the screen. You can completely cover that, and the shadows are cool, but they're not what sells the lighting. It's the trees that sell the lighting, man. Yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, I mean, I saw that and just wanted to point it out to and again, it just goes to show that, like, look, I'm sure some of the viewers out there might be saying, oh, Noodle's just trying to push Xplane. No. I'm just trying to show you the difference of, this is freeware, viewers. This is freeware. So
this is absolutely incredible. It really is so beautiful. So head over to the skylounge.tv and click on the link submitted by Mr. Pear. 2 golden Xplane freeware gems, folks. There you go. Moving on, next topic. This one submitted by Mr. Predrag, My Little Rant. This is an interesting topic he submitted here for discussion. You know, Mr. Predrag brings up the typical internet etiquette of, I don't know, is it an etiquette? I don't know. The typical internet reaction of kind of pointing out every fucking thing you do wrong. When you're a simmer that's either sharing screenshots or streaming live, because gosh knows we hear this stuff streaming live as well. He puts forth some examples. You know when someone posts a screenshot or a video of a landing or approach, and the first comments you see are, wrong this, wrong that. He says, for example, that is not a published approach, or that airline doesn't land there, or that runway is only for takeoffs, not landing. The list goes on. I mean, it is kind of, you know, there are an infinite number of things that people will point out. How do you guys feel? Are you as annoyed as Mr. Predrag?
As a simmer and a streamer and a host, I hear this all the time from people in the chat, or you know, you'll get some arsehat come in and start sprouting this stuff. I'm just...
Oh, Mr. Sparky, I think hung up there. Well, let's move on with Mr. Keven.
Well, I don't know. I mean, live and let live. That's all there is to it, really.
Yeah.
Mr. B?
I think if you're flying TSL, you don't have to worry about the published approach, because you can fly anywhere, man.
Yeah! we have hangars everywhere around the world. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Noodle?
You know, when I first saw this, I don't know. I really didn't know how to respond to this. On one hand, I get it, and on the other hand, I get it. You know, like a few months back, when I bought the Airbus A330 for Xplane, I found that somebody made a fictitious livery with Southwest. And I flew it a lot, you know, the 330 in Southwest livery. Does Southwest have a 330? Nope. Did I buy the A330 for my enjoyment? Yep. So... for you people out there who are going to whine and bitch and moan because if I happen to post a picture that has me in a 330 with Southwest livery landing in, I don't know, France, that's up to me. You know, get over yourselves. You know, and again, stop trying to be these pocket experts. Be the expert for yourself and just solicit, you know, your information when it's wanted. You know, stop trying to be the internet police out there. There's plenty of that as it is. Enjoy the great thing that we have, that is simulation. And again, you people are whining. So what? Maybe that person is learning. Maybe that person doesn't care. It is not your right to tell them that they're wrong, unless again they solicit your opinion.
Right.
You know, so
there you go.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a 330 video in Southwest, and I'll land in Roma, and Napoli, Heathrow.
Bring it to Doncaster. Bring it to Doncaster.
And now that you mention it, when I do go across the pond, maybe I'll make it a stream and do that.
When I go across the pond in my Southwest A330 is what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do it as a big finger. I'm going to do it. I'm going to plan it out. This will happen.
Mr. Pear?
Yeah, I agree.
You're a man of accuracy, Mr. Pear. You are a man of accuracy. You like...
Yeah, but I like to analyze my own flying. Not too into analyzing other people's flying. It all depends. Some people like it, some people don't. So it's all up to... But he's saying posting a screenshot. Yeah, a screenshot is a screenshot. And if I want to post a screenshot, I would like to post a screenshot because I find this screenshot beautiful to watch. Yeah. I look at the screenshot. I want to see this screenshot because look at this beautiful plane, look at the capturing surroundings and all that. So yeah, if I post a screenshot, I would be upset if someone started
there you go. Yeah,
nitpicking those things. Yeah.
Definitely. I see it more often in like the Facebook groups and stuff like that. I call it like elitists, and to be very, very honest here, for the longest time, it was the kind of that mindset of these folks that kept me from streaming, anything bigger than a GA plane online. It was because typically I'm visual. I get the plane in the air and I want to take photographs and screenshots and but I would have been shred to pieces had I streamed it the way that I used to fly it by the purists, I remember clearly flying it's funny, Noodle, that you use this example because I clearly remember this, when I flew my A320 by Aerosoft in a custom Southwest livery. Oh my fucking god. People went apeshit. And I remember Canuck saying, yes, there is an A320. This is the only one. You're looking right at it right here. And people are like, there isn't one. And he's like, yes, there is. It's right here. See it? It's there. And I thought that was just like the best approach to it, but man, the purists, they're pretty hardcore. And I get what Predrag is saying. It can discourage you from sharing if you share and people are constantly shitting on what you're posting. That's a shitty feeling. I didn't stream it for that same reason. These days I learned from the best and I feel comfortable streaming it the right way, but I do hope that as a community that we all just realize that sometimes our knowledge isn't something that somebody else asked for. Our knowledge is our knowledge until somebody asks us for our knowledge, and then we can pass it on. But you just spew it out at people because sometimes they don't care.
Yeah, Mr. Edson, I don't know how much you got there before my little technical issue. But
carry on, please, sir.
Just smile and carry on. Ignore them. I mean, I'm not a professional airline pilot. I don't need to follow published procedures. I just want to go out there, have fun, show off a beautiful plane, get it in the air, play some great tunes. If you don't like it, go to another stream.
Absolutely. So Mr. Moser says, in response, he says, also, where have you been getting this unwanted feedback? Not from here on the lounge, I would hope. And it's a perfect response because it's not something that you see here on the lounge from anyone, even the pros. Predrag responds, I'm not getting any because I don't post landing videos, mostly because of this issue, but seeing those comments on everyday basis on a Facebook flight simming group and on many YouTube videos. And my response was, you hang out in the wrong places, my friend. Welcome home. I think that's just kind of sums it up, It's like, get away from those toxic places if they're toxic, right? Make better,
aviation.
Yeah.
And another little thing, what I like to say to that too, is, are you rated on this aircraft in real life?
Yeah.
Are you? Then shut the.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
And I will do that. Yeah. Are you rated?
Good one.
Shut the.
I like the self censorship too. I should do that, man. Because sometimes I don't give a about anything. You know what I'm saying? You can suck my. All right. So moving on. Next
Shut
topic.
The front door.
Also submitted by Mr. Predrag. Back to the Future. Come on, Doc, he says. This is great. What a brilliant follow-up post. A screenshot. Lockheed Martin, copyright 2023, P3D version 6.133, 128-bit, loading AI planes and applying up-to-date flight plans. Done. Loading world population and passengers. Done. Loading animals and recalculating behavior. Done. Loading world weather and updating cloud models. 64%.
Soon.
Some great lighthearted fun brought in by Mr. Predrag. I absolutely love this. I mean, this is
Brilliant.
like, yeah, it really is brilliant. And what's crazy is, like, if you think about where we are today and where we were in simming 5 years ago, 10 years ago,
10 years ago.
10 years ago, I mean, it's day and night, guys. Like, something like this is so not far-fetched 10 years from now. Sounds like a long time, but was 10 years ago really that far back for us? Nah, it's like time flew. 10 years from now, this actually could be real, man. It's unbelievable. We're on the cusp of some amazing things this year that are really going to set the bar for the future.
And that won't be on a screen, that'll be on your eyeballs because you'll just jack in.
Oh, that would be great. Cyberpunk me.
You'll see another line. Now rendering 737-800 cockpit. You know, just right in front of you. Thank you, Mr. Predrag. Thank you very much for that. All right, folks. Let's take a quick break here before we get into our worth mentioning section. We've got quite a few updates and stuff in worth mentioning. Let's take a moment to take a look at the clip of the week. This is going to be a new segment here on Approach. We ask that when you watch the Twitch streams at twitch.tv/theskylounge, that you make good use of that clip button in the lower right-hand corner and capture the best moments in our streams. We've got 7 hosts. We're live 7 days a week for many, many, many hours throughout the day, and we do some ridiculous things sometimes. Sometimes they're on purpose, sometimes they're not. But we ask that you clip them when they happen. These are your favorite moments. Clip of the week, clip by Mr. Super Thrive. This is B. Crawley 57 gets his bounce on.
Do we have any audio with that?
Let's see.
There it is.
Yeah, that's bouncing, isn't it? What the hell's it doing? That's a bouncy runway, isn't it?
That was bouncy, man.
Mr. B!
Did you catch the landing rate? Landing rate -17.
Was it really?
Yeah.
No way.
Oh
No way.
my gosh.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Mr. Super Thrive, thank you for capturing that. Amazing.
I'm glad it wasn't one of mine.
All right.
That was a pretty bad airport, actually. I had the aprons and the taxiways were like the Himalayas. They really were.
I hear that's all the rage in Xplane, though, right?
Yeah.
Real elevations at the runways, hills on the runways.
Right. Yeah.
What he was doing, right? If you guys are not, if you're not aware of it, what he was doing, he's preparing for this alleged approach to takeoffs and landing with the circular airport. So he's preparing. He's preparing.
Those were just touch and goes, right? All right, moving on. Worth mentioning, this section reserved for the quick stuff. It's updates that are coming, updates that may be out by the time this video is out, releases as well. So, in we go. LSGK Sanin released, this is the Orbex freeware. It's absolutely beautiful. Did you guys get this already?
Yes.
Not yet.
Not yet.
No.
For those that have it.
This is the float plane base, yeah?
No.
No.
No. For those that have it, Sky 5 or Skydive.
Oh, 5.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
It's an absolute gem of a little airport. Oslo XP for Xplane is now released as well. This is Aerosoft, I believe. Yes, Mr. Pear?
Yes.
It's very good.
Toga Projects, you'd buy it? Yes? Sky 5, he says.
Yeah, we
Yes,
bought it.
I have bought it. So has
Yeah.
Mr. B, and it's Sky 5.
Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Toga Projects, Envtex. I hate saying that name. Envtex. NVTEX, okay? NVTEX. Service Pack 1 is inbound and may be out by the time of this video's release. So if you have that wonderful piece of software, which I also use, head out and check their forum. German Airports 2 by Aerosoft has been updated to 1.02. The Rex Worldwide Airports HD Service Pack 1 is inbound. This I'm going to take a quick peek at just so we can take a look at the details. Those are some of the new ground vehicles in the Rex Worldwide Airports HD. So looks like they're adding some fire equipment as well. Pretty exciting on that front.
Nice.
The Milvis Beaver enters final beta. Is anyone as excited as I am for this one? I love this plane.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
I want this.
I want the float variant for this.
Yeah. I believe Harrison Ford has a famous plane in a movie that's a beaver. Am I correct? Anyone?
Don't know.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Indiana
He does.
Jones,
Yeah.
probably.
I think it is. Yeah. AI ships, additional ship packs available. This one submitted by Mr. Crawley. The AI ship pack is amazing. If you don't have this yet, run out and grab it. This is over 200 AI ships and routes all around the entire world. Total freeware, amazing piece of freeware. UK 2000. Is it worth it? Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What
Yes.
about? Has there been anything about how it's going to affect system resources, though?
Barely tickles it.
Really.
Barely
Doesn't
tickles
touch
it. Yeah. Really nice.
I ramp my ships up, and you're flying over a large body of water, and you see a tanker or you see a freighter or something. It's nice to see there's something out there,
I
Okay,
rock
cool.
about 7 on my ship slider, I think, and I see great traffic out and about the coast. You got ferries and stuff as well, so really
Well,
nice.
they match up to the shipping routes on Plan G as well. So if you get a lot of these little dotted lines on Plan
for
G,
real?
you've got a pretty good chance of seeing a ship there.
Oh wow!
Yeah, the ships are just amazing.
Yeah.
I will add this. Good to know.
What about Somali pirate ships?
Oh man.
Oh, they've
Only
got
for
an
the
adventure
American.
pack for that, haven't they? This new add-on from AI Ships has an adventure within where you can go seek out the Somali pirates. Absolutely.
Be quiet. You're not lying.
No, I'm not lying. No. Absolutely.
And I also saw he's added whales and orcas as well, animals.
Oh wow!
Oh wow. Really?
Yeah, it's a must. It's a must.
Well, I'm gonna have to find a really good. Oh, I have a good float plane. I have the Twin Otter.
There you
So
go.
I'll have to go. I'll have to go exploring, looking for that now. Cool.
UK 2000 Norwich Extreme released.
Norwich.
Norwich.
I should have let you announce that. Where is this?
If you want to say it correctly, Mr. Edson, and you're from Norwich, it's Norwich.
Norwich.
From Norwich.
Norwich. Where is this? Where is this in the UK? Where is Norwich?
In the south.
In the south. Okay.
Yeah. South of England.
South England. Orbex Pago Pago updated to 1.15. One of their most beautiful small regions, Pago Pago. Definitely go check it out in the sale because I believe that it is covered under the whole 47% off until the end of the month, guys. And last but definitely not least, Pender Harbor Seaplane Base is now released as well. This is by Orbex. This is the one that Mr. Sparky was asking about earlier. This is their freeware seaplane base. All you do is head over to Orbex Direct, add it to your cart, and it will show up in your FTX Central 3, and then you can install it.
This is Pacific Northwest area, isn't it?
I believe it is, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to grab that. Gotta grab that.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap up our show for tonight. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for joining us and for submitting some fantastic stories. Please keep them coming. We don't have anything to talk about unless you take the time to submit some stories for us to discuss. So keep it coming. Thank you for the love. Like, watch, subscribe, upvote, downvote, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you got to do. Show the love. Comments. We love comments. Please keep the comments coming. Until next time, everyone, Sky 5.
63, climb maintain 13,000.
13,000, 63.
463, contact the New York Center, 128.3.
28 for Agent Blue 63, good day.